How long will it take to see your six-pack? Hi, my name is Dr. Michael Diamonds and I'm the founder of Sculpt by Science. Anatomically, we all have a six-pack. Its function is to hold all your internal organs in place. It keeps your body stable in movement and supports your spine. That being said, most people have layers of fat tissue covering them, which has stopped them from ever seeing their six-pack. There are two pathways to getting your six-pack. Number one is with hope that working hard alone will reward you with the elusive six-pack, which is what happened to me in 2016. Or two, you have a science-backed approach and it's a direct pathway and a speedy pathway to a strong invisible core. Stick to the end of the video and I'll direct you to the simple step-by-step guide to getting your six-pack. Let me explain. In 2016, when I created my first diet and training plan, Project Diamonds, it took me 22 weeks. A study published by the University of Columbia concluded that these findings provide a tool for investigators and clinical dietitians to predict the rate of weight loss that can be expected within a population given the age, initial body weight, frequency of dietary counseling, and energy deficit prescription. Once I adjusted and applied these things, in 2017, with improved knowledge, I was able to complete this transformation in 13 weeks, nearly half the time required to lose all that weight. In 2018, I saw similar results in the same time, but couldn't improve on reaching a lower body fat percentage. 2019 was nothing short of perfect. The peak of my research and understanding of fat loss, taking into account human behavior and mitigating the different circumstances, this took me exactly 16 weeks. And here you can notice my initial body fat percentage was lower compared to the previous years and the first time that I reached sub 10% body fat, something I was never able to accomplish. Until 2022, I perfected my ability to reach this level of condition, now putting in more focus on maintaining and building more muscle tissue at this level. I'll be sharing with you here exactly how I did this all. But I have some good news for you. Getting abs is a lot easier than what you've been led to believe. You don't need to cut out a complete food group like pasta or bread, choke down a handful of fat burners every day, or do hours of core workouts and cardio. But before we dive in, a lot of research and editing goes into making a video like this. I believe this will help a tremendous amount of people, especially after Christmas and going into the new year, as a Christmas gift to me and to the channel and to the algorithm. Gently tap the like button. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're new, consider subscribing. I'm happy to have you on board. Let's kick it off into step one. How long will it take you to see your six-pack? The analogy I like using is that if you don't have a concrete plan, it's like driving blindfolded. Two things are likely to happen. Number one, you never reach your destination, or it takes you 10 times longer. Number two, you run out of gas, which is what happens with most of the people. So step number one, we're gonna figure out exactly where you are. So what I want you to do is take your photo and compare it against these photos that you're seeing right now on the screen. I'm gonna use myself as an example. I believe I'm falling anywhere in between 25 to 30% body fat in my initial picture. At this picture, I was 200 pounds. Now, I'm gonna take a happy medium, and from my eye test and my own personal experience, I believe it's 27%. Let me know in the comments down below what you got, and I'm gonna help you out in terms of making sure we figure out this together. Number two, after you've determined where you currently are, we need to figure out where you wanna go. Science has shown, in general, for individuals to see their full six-pack, they need to get to 12%. So if I'm at 27% at the moment, I wanna get to 12%, that's 15% of body fat that I need to drop to finally be able to see my six-pack. So you need to drop 15% overall. Let me know in the comments again where you are. The second thing we need to figure out now that we know the beginning and the end, the rate of weight loss in the route and how fast we want to get to that position. On one extreme, you have the fast route, which would be 1% of your total body weight per week, and in the more slow route, but the one I prefer, is 0.5% because it's more sustainable, there's less pressure on your shoulders, and you can accelerate it once you start getting into a groove and a routine, is 0.5%. So in this case, if you lose 1% per week, it's going to take you 15 weeks to finally be able to see your six-pack. However, if you go the 0.5% route, it's going to take you 30 weeks. And in my personal experience, this has elicited the best results because I maintain much more muscle tissue and it's also more sustainable. It gives me more flexibility. Now we've figured out exactly how long it's going to take you to see a six-pack. The second step is figuring out your nutrition, and I'm going to give you a very easy way to figure this out. But I know a lot of people are unsure. There's so much noise online. fine. You've watched hundreds of YouTube videos and you won't know, and you doubt if you're finally going to have the right diet for you to see this. I do this exactly for my clients. I build the entire meal plan, start to finish, with foods they love and enjoy so that they can do it for the rest of their life. The same with the training. It's designed according to their physiques, especially taking into account being able to see the six-pack fully and for them to get the desired result that they want. We jump on weekly Zoom calls. We speak 24/7 over WhatsApp. This way, I make sure that anyone who works with me sees the best results possible. People I usually work with are busy professionals. They don't have the time to be able to watch all these videos, and I do all the heavy lifting for them. If that is you, you finally want a coach who's a doctor who understands the body fundamentally, I am your guy. All you need to do is go into the description of this video, fill out the application form to the best of your ability, and we'll get on the phone, we'll speak about your goals, we'll get to working together, and let's move on into the next. The second thing we need to do, we need to focus on nutrition. As I've said in many of my videos, it's really gonna dictate your ability to gain muscle and lose fat, or gain fat and lose muscle. The next step is download an app like MyFitnessPal or Calorie. It's gonna be the simplest way to do it and the way that's going to give you results. So after you've downloaded the app, insert all the correct information. It's gonna ask you what rate of weight loss you want, and you would have decided if you want to take the 1% or 0.5% route between the 2 pounds and the 1 pound per week. And now it's giving you your total calories, but this is what I would recommend with choosing your particular macros. Please listen closely because this is gonna help. Our main goal is to lose weight. I highly recommend you choose 1 pound per week. It's very tempting to want to choose 2 pounds per week because you want to get to your goal quicker. In my own experience, individuals tend to have a lot of repercussion with having such an aggressive caloric deficit. I highly recommend 1 pound per week. Awesome. And based on the data, it's giving me 2,280 calories, and that's going to put me in a caloric deficit. We've figured out our calories. Now we want to figure out what our perfect macros are. And I'll go through my thought process in terms of setting up the best macros, and you can do the exact same. So my general rule is I like to eat more than 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if I'm 175 pounds, I want to eat between 175 and slightly above that to be able to maintain or even build muscle mass. 200, that's 35%. I'm okay with that. And typically when I choose fat, which is the next parameter, I like to choose between 20 and 25% of my total calories. So I'm going to bring that down to 20, and that gives me 51 grams of fat. I'm happy with that. We just need to balance things out, and we're going to reduce carbohydrates from 50 to 45%, and we're going to click check, and that is perfect. You will see that your goal is to be able to get to as close as possible 200 grams of protein, get as close as possible to 257 carbs and 51 grams of fat. In my experience, the individuals who hit these numbers the closest are the ones who tend to see more detail in their body. Personally, I like going for 1.3 grams of protein per pound of body weight. For your sake, and to make this easy, I would say go for 1 gram per pound of body weight, and you can increase that. I'm 200 pounds, so your protein should be 200. In your case, if you're 157 pounds, you should be 157. So put that in there for your protein. For your fats, in general, at the lower end, I use 20%. I go no lower than that. So of your total calories, allocate 20% towards your fats and the rest towards carbs. You need to consistently follow these macros that I've just calculated for at least 2 weeks and see what result you get. Did your weight increase? Did it decrease? Compare the two photos, and if no changes, I would say slightly decrease your carbs by 25 carbs, which is equivalent to 100 calories, until you achieve the rate of weight loss you desire. And do this consistently. Don't be in a rush, don't put too much pressure on yourself, and you can always find me in the comments if you need assistance. We've figured out the diet, but now, how do we make sure we reveal the six-pack? That's gonna be through the diet, but to build it, these are the exercises I highly recommend, and if you do these, I've done that for 8 years, I have seen consistent success with myself and all my clients. Exercise number 1 is going to be focused on creating some spinal curvature and contracting your rectus abdominis as much as possible. If you're a beginner, a general crunch is fantastic. I want you to exhale to get maximum crunch for your rectus abdominis. If you're an intermediate, adding some weight, some resistance to hypertrophy the six-pack is the way to go, within a rep range of 10 to 20. Now, if you're advanced with your rectus abdominis, I love a cable crunch because it allows you to overload the muscle, and And what you need to focus on is spinal curvature and contracting your abs as much as possible. You don't have to be doing anything crazy. The second exercise that I do enjoy that helps develop that six-pack is any form of spinal curvature from the bottom, which is, example, a laying leg raise. This is for a beginner. If you're intermediate, a knee raise, which will make it slightly more tough for you by increasing the weight. And then if you're an expert, a fully extended leg raise is going to be fantastic for developing that V-line. Those two exercises alone are fantastic for developing your core, giving it the thickness so you can see more of your abs at a higher body fat percentage in the future. I would say do this at least every 2 days. Finally, what we need to figure out as well is the rectus abdominis. You want to be able to develop those finger-like muscles on the rectus abdominis. In this event, twisting actions are fantastic for the oblique. If you're a beginner, the Russian twist. If you're intermediate, using a weight, performing a Russian twist, and if you're an expert, cable wood choppers are phenomenal. With that being said, that is the direct guide for you to figure out how to get your six-pack. It's not that complicated, but what it's going to require is your consistency. And I do this with my clients. I take all the pressure off of their shoulders and I figure it out for them. We check in with each other once a week through WhatsApp. We have weekly Zoom calls. This way, whenever they're having to overcome a hurdle, they have me there to intervene. If you're an individual who's been trying for years, you've never seen your six-pack, and you want a direct path to your final result, I am the coach to help you. What I want you to do in this case, if you're a busy professional, you're a success-minded individual, go into the description of this video, fill out the application form to work with me, and we'll jump on a call and we'll figure out what it's going to take for you to finally see your six-pack, and we will work together. But with that being said, if you did enjoy this video, hit it with a gentle thumbs up. These two videos are actually incredible, so you get a better idea of what you should be eating once you've figured out your macros. And drop in the comments down below where you currently are, where you need to go, how long it's going to take you, and I'll give you all the right advice. I'm here for you, and this is my Christmas gift to you. A gentle thumbs up would be a great Christmas gift for me, but I'll see you guys in the next one.